Alrighty then, so hello everybody, this is Felix, and I am here playing some AI, the Somnium File, again, because I realized yesterday after I was done streaming that I forgot to stream on YouTube one of my streams of this game, which means there's a bit of a hole in the story of AI, the Somnium File on my YouTube channel. Which means that I have to, well, I don't have to, but that means that for my own sanity, I'm going to replay this entire part, basically. So if you're seeing this, know that I've already went through of all this once, and that's about it. Spoiler, by the way. Spoiler, I guess. I'm gonna try and make this not as spoilery as possible. Don't look. Don't look. I'm pretty sure that... Fuck off. Okay, should have probably started... I should have probably actually started while I was... God, my brain is not working today. I should have probably started here, right here, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I've already seen this, so I can skip this. There we go.
Welcome.
You know what? I'm gonna restart the stream just so that no spoilers happen, so hold up a second. Alright, hello everybody, this is Felix and I'm back with some AI the Somnium File. I'm actually redoing this part of the game mainly because, well, I noticed after last night's stream, or I guess last day's stream because it was technically after 12, that that I hadn't streamed on YouTube for that for the stream before that and the stream last night, which means that it wasn't archived on YouTube. Now I was able to get the recording of the previous stream downloaded from Twitch, but it was too late for the stream before that, so now I'm just gonna go through all the content that isn't on YouTube so that the person can still see the entire game on my channel. Well, that's about it, so I'm just gonna get going. Hopefully it won't last longer than a couple of hours.
I'm the president of the Japanese Knives at Laws branch, Tokiko Shigure.
I apologize for visiting so late at night. I'm from the Metropolitan Police Department.
Mr. Ryuki, is it? Mamoru, my secretary, has already informed me. I hear you've come to ask about Jin Furue's murder.
Yeah, so we basically saw the Nike's office in Chikara's Somnium, which led us here, because it might have something to do with the murders. Now first we're going to talk to Mamoru. He actually played a part in the previous game. And I like the fact that in this game they actually tried to make him not just a giant jackass.
It was a heat of the moment thing, but I ended up quitting my job. I don't regret punching that scumbag, but... what am I going to do now? I've got 10 children to think about. What? A job? With the conditions I requested? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do anything, as long as it's not illegal.
We do actually have to speak to him before we can... well, before we can get all the information from Tokiko. The same how we have to interact with this symbol before we can speak to Tokiko.
I was only hired recently. I don't know much about it, really. Yeah, but I'm also her bodyguard. I used to be a bodyguard for a certain politician until the end of last year. He was a piece of human garbage. I slugged him in the face and resigned, then ended up here thanks to an acquaintance introducing me. Something funny. There, I said it. Your badge.
That's something phony.
What is this? A vaudeville routine? That wasn't funny at all.
Alright.
That's the nonupal X, the symbol of Nyes.
Non-upal means consisting of 9. You know how there's single, double, triple? Non-upal is the 9th.
So non-upal X means 9 X's?
Seems so.
Did you know that Nyes is derived from 9-Xed lozenge? Lozenge referring to a diamond shape. In other words, Nyes means the 9 X's of the diamond.
I did know that, actually. Not because I actually knew it, but because I basically just already played the game. So about Bats 490. Oh, hold up guys. Someone gave me a message. Wanted to know if you wanted to talk while I play over gameplay that I've already played. Maybe explain it to him. Hold up a second. Depends on what you want. I'm basically asking him if he wanted to either enter in a voice call or just on stream, or in the chat, so that I have someone to talk to. I don't really mind if there's nobody when I play new gameplay stuff, but would be fun to explain all of this to a person who keep me invested. Yeah, so about Bats 490.
Considering the fact that you are here, I assume it would be pointless to hide it. Indeed. I had my subordinates create that video. Bats 490 was an ARG, just a game. But there was a high-level encryption hiding a message within. We have been seeking high IQ individuals with the capability to decode it. The purpose was to recruit them into Nyes.
So this QR video was made for the same reason?
I am aware of that video. I saw it on the news. However, it's completely unrelated to Nyes. I assume someone made it with the intent to imitate Bats 490.
What do you think, Tama?
Hard to say on that alone.
Fuck, I really wish that my controller didn't pop out every time I had to click something else on my PC. Alright, let's see. About Chikara.
Do you mean the man from Horadori Institute of Genetics?
I
So
do like
you do
his
know
red
him.
pants.
I'm actually here because of a tip I got from him.
Shikara is under arrest?
No, he was just released earlier. We didn't have enough evidence to keep him
Would
detained.
be a pain to
I
pair it
see.
with things, but still, it does pop. You do get the attention from people, I imagine, with red in your clothes. About your relationship with Chikara.
Shikara is a former member of Nyes, though this was over 20 years ago. When he left us, he became an avid believer in the Order of Percent.
Order of Percent?
It's an organization that split off from Nyes. You could say they are a sect. The Order of Percent is a religious sect, whereas we are an ideological
I still
society.
think that Order of
Despite
Percent
our
is a
common
dumb
roots,
name
we
for
are heading
an
in completely
organization.
different directions.
Then how did Chikara
Oh.
know that
Alright,
Nyes
hold up,
created
guys.
Bats 490?
Just gonna set everything up. Hey man. Yeah, I'm... Hold up a second. I'm gonna... Before you start speaking, I'm gonna quickly add an audio channel so that people can actually hear you. Otherwise it just sounds like I'm talking to myself even more than usual. Or do you not want your voice to be heard? Because that's also fine. I mean, then you can just go to the chat. Alright. So guys, my friend doesn't want his voice to be heard, so he's gonna go to the chat. Well, actually there are no guys right now, so I don't know why I said that. But yeah, just go to the chat. Just go to my stream on Twitch, I guess, and start talking in chat so that I have someone to talk to while I'm re-going over some stuff in the game that I accidentally didn't record while I was streaming.
I wouldn't know about that.
No.
Perhaps he asked an acquaintance from Nyes.
No, you don't have to come on the stream. I basically just asked you if you wanted to talk on voice or chat while I stream, because I've already played this part and it would help me be more engaged if I have someone that, you know, I had to explain things to, or, you know, someone just to talk to. There's nobody in my chat right now, so that's why I asked.
I had a very hard time finding the place. After all, Nyes is a secret organization hidden
Yeah, but
from the
that would
public.
make for a poor
That's a
stream,
good
would
thing
it?
Boss just happened to know someone
Leon
who knew
asked
this
if
location.
if he could just stay in the
Otherwise, we
voice
would've
while
been
you
out
guys
of luck.
couldn't hear him.
Even after I got inside the building, it wasn't easy. The guards, the security gates. If I hadn't met Mamoru at the entrance, I probably wouldn't even have made it to this office.
Well, that was
I know about Abyss,
awkward conversation.
and I know it's trustworthy. That's why I let you through to talk to the president.
As you can see, social interactions are my forte.
Anyway, I was surprised. I had heard of Nyes, the secret organization, but I thought it was just an urban legend. I can't believe it actually exists.
Yes, there has been all sorts of gossip about us. Some claim we're a secret society of Satanists, or that we have something to do with a sequence of binary code that came from space. But that's all nonsense. Made-up stories that become more and more embellished as they were passed on. Rumors are quite a terrifying thing. Nyes is a perfectly legitimate ideological society. Our headquarters are located in New York, with many branches in cities throughout the world. This is one such branch. This is a common misconception, but Nyes is not a religious organization. We are a group of like-minded individuals who act together based on a certain understanding of the universe.
And that is?
The simulation theory. Have you heard of it?
That the world is an artificial simulation of reality created by someone or something. That's the theory.
You're saying everything in this world we're living in isn't real?
Yes. It's a false world constructed with specific rules by a program. And if it is made by a program, there must by necessity be imperfections, edges, or seams. To find these seams, or to create them, is our objective.
Why would you do that?
If you tear at the seams of a cloth, it will unravel, and a hole will be created. Thusly, we will tear at the seams of the program until it is unraveled, and its people are emancipated. That is our ultimate goal.
This old hack has completely lost it.
Alrighty then. How will you tear to the seams of the world?
The intersection between the warp and weft. That's where the seam can occur.
I don't understand.
You will someday. It is a prophecy. It will be fulfilled eventually.
What is that?
It's a hand sign we use. It's meant to resemble the sign
You know, I
behind me.
actually thought that might lead into something where maybe I have to redo the hand sign, but it hasn't happened yet, so a little curious why they kept making me show the hand sign, right? Or kept showing me the hand sign. Fuck, burp. That's a burp. You know, that's the weirdest thing. I don't have to burp when I drink soda or anything, but when I have to drink something like lemonade or water, something that uses a lot of water in their makeup, I have to burp. I don't even know why. It's really fucking weird. Can you show me? No, we don't need to see that again. It will just repeat it constantly, so... not really
Judging by
worth
the
it.
way you asked that, I assume that's Jin's estimated time of death?
Well, yes.
I was in Okinawa from the night of the 8th. I had a seminar to attend on the 9th and 10th. I returned to Tokyo late last night.
I checked the logs for hotels and airports, her smartphone access points, and the security footage for each location. It's true that Tokiko was in Okinawa from the 8th to the 10th.
So she has an alibi.
As long as you presume Jin's body wasn't brought back with her from Okinawa.
By the way, would you mind if I asked you a question?
What is it?
Are you perhaps a Freyr?
Freyr?
What else
I
that's
am
supposed to
asking
mean?
the person within you.
What?
I will ask you one more time. Are you a Freyr?
I am apparently a Freyr. Because, well, actually, I wonder, because technically there is someone within Ryuji right now, so does that mean that he is a Freyr, or because I'm here, because I am the player that is playing with Ryuji right now, or are they talking about something else? Because I was actually curious when this first popped up, hey, are they gonna do some sort of fourth wall breaking shenanigans or not? But unfortunately I don't have the code yet. I'm guessing that this will be something that we're gonna see on the Mitsuki route, so. I am, however, quickly gonna give my friend the link so that he can go to the chat. And I won't be alone and sad anymore. Oh, there it is. Alright, so you can answer yes and no. If you answer yes, you'll get a little bit of stuff, but afterwards you'll be asked to get put in a 6 or 7 digit code, and we don't have that yet, so unfortunately we can't actually see what will happen if we do. I am curious though. I really hope we will get the code in the game. I could just look it up online, because there is a chance with games made by the guy that made the Zero Escape games that he'll just say, yes, so this is information you have to get outside of the game. But I'd like not to spoil myself, so I will wait to Google this until I am absolutely done with the game. So yeah, I'm just gonna
I
answer
see.
no.
Then I must have been mistaken.
What is a Freyr? Frey. Right. I remember now.
Frey to
It was
fray.
written on that sign.
Frey to free.
Frey to free. Frey can mean fight, but it can also mean to wear out or tear.
Remember what Tokiko said. Their ultimate goal is to break down this world and emancipate its people.
Miss Shigure, are you sure Nyes didn't make the QR video?
We did not.
But the word Frey was written on that sign in the QR code.
We of Nyes are only involved in Bats 490, which we created half a year ago. We are not the ones who created the QR video. The word Frey being displayed on that sign must be a coincidence.
That can't be just a coincidence.
Oh, but it can. After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program. And such programs always have some glitches lurking under the surface. We call such glitches seams. Coincidences like this are a manifestation of such glitches. Proof of imperfection. Proof of the seams. The appearance of Jin's corpse is also likely to be an example of such phenomenon.
What?
Are you familiar with the Philadelphia experiment?
It's a top-secret military experiment that's said to have taken place in the American city of Philadelphia on October 28, 1943. A powerful electromagnetic wave was fired towards the USS Eldridge, a destroyer-class warship. Supposedly, the reason for doing this was to conceal the ship from showing up on radar. But as soon as the experiment began, something strange happened. The Eldridge was enshrouded in a greenish mist, then vanished. Afterward, it appeared at a military port in Norfolk, nearly 200 miles away from the shipyard in Philadelphia. Sometime later, it reappeared in its original position again.
So you're saying it teleported?
Well, it's nothing but an urban legend. Just an occult story with low credibility.
I relate Tama's story directly to Tokyo.
Yes, exactly. However, the story doesn't end there. When the USS Eldridge returned to Philadelphia, there were several sailors on board, but some of them had melted like a rotten banana, while others ended up with their bodies entirely burned and blackened. Others were said to have merged with the steel hull, their bodies having become a piece of the ship. Does that sound familiar?
You mean Jin? Are you saying his right half teleported here?
It isn't impossible. If a seam was torn, that is.
Impossible.
Okay, we skipped a lot there. Didn't we have to have an... Oh, wait. Are we gonna have another conversation with her? I thought we were gonna have... I am a little confused. I felt like we were gonna have another conversation
You like
with
this
her, or
park,
a longer
don't you, Ryuki?
conversation with her.
I feel calm when I'm around nature. It's like I can feel the buzz
Well, I
inside
guess
me
I'll just
quieting
take
down.
it how it goes.
Tama, what do you think about what Tokiko said earlier? Is something like teleportation really possible?
Hey, come on. I told you the Philadelphia experiment is just an urban legend.
How else can you explain what happened with Jin? We can't deny that his right half suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Good enough.
Jeez. Then why don't we find out for ourselves?
What do you mean? You want to go to the studio right now?
No need. Just close your eyes.
My eyes?
Just do it!
Okay.
Alrighty then. Oh, is this... No, this isn't the first time, right? That we went into this holographic thing. Or is it? Holy shit, did I skip 2 streams? Well, not skip 2 streams, but did I forget to stream to YouTube for 2 streams?
the?
That could honestly
Did we
have been the
teleport
case.
here?
Are you serious?
Dang.
We're in Studio Devita,
Or I'm
aren't
just
we?
redoing a
It
bunch of
just
stuff.
seems that way.
That's
We're not
also
actually
possible.
there. Last night, I scanned every nook and cranny of the scene. What you're looking at now is what I replicated using that data.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like I'm actually there. The corpse looks so real.
Want me to put a mosaic over it?
Uncensored is fine.
Now, less digressing and more investigating. Your objective is to solve the mystery behind the sudden appearance of Jin's right half.
All right, let's start looking around.
Yeah, so this is actually... Alright, so... This is actually the first time we're doing this virtual reality activation. I guess I skipped a lot more than I thought I did. Or, not skipped, I should stop saying skipped. It was more something akin to forgetting. Just quickly checking something out. Yeah, no, I guess I did actually skip a bunch. Okay, yeah, no. Wow, alright. That is genuinely surprising to me. I guess I didn't record 2 streams, which... Oof. Alright, so... I don't actually know if we have to go through all of these. Can I not... Oh, okay, why can't I... What the hell? Why can't I...
Wow, I can switch to X-ray mode too.
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene.
Okay, why can't I use my other mouse? I can only move it using my... Like my mouse, I can't use my controller, which is kinda weird. Slightly irritating. What's happening? Okay, why can't I use this one? Alrighty then. Maybe I have to restart the game or something. I don't really want to save though, that seems kinda dumb. Maybe it's because I skip too much. Weird. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly try and please work. No, fuck you too. Alright, I guess we're just doing it the old-fashioned way, which is really weird. I'm using both mouse and controller. Okay. Can I... No, can't do it like this. I'm gonna try and restart this so that I don't have to deal with this. This is super annoying otherwise. Because my controller is still working, so I'm a little confused as to why half of it just decided to not work. Maybe it's actually a glitch or something, I don't know. Yeah, thanks. Still not working for whatever reason. Okay, I'm just gonna restart the game then. Not sure why this is happening. Slightly annoying, but nothing I can do about. Strange, first bug I've seen in this game so far, which is better than the previous game. In the previous game there were a couple of bugs that were pretty annoying. There was this habit for Insomnium to freeze the game up. I don't think it's there anymore because well, I think the last time I played it, it wasn't there yet, so I think we were here, yes, start investigating, and we were at the VR studio. Please work though, it's really annoying to have to play without being able to change directions and the like, which... Oh, thank God. Okay, I don't know what was wrong there. Maybe it was because I kept changing from PC to game and so on. Maybe that fucked the game up a little bit. Alright, well, I am gonna mainly focus on the things I know I have to press on to move on the story, but you can just press on everything here and then sometimes you'll get some more information about random shit that really doesn't matter all that much, but it can be funny depending on your sense of humor.
I wonder how deep this sign is embedded.
What do we do at times like these?
Right, the X-ray.
The X-ray, yay. Oh, hi. Your game audio is a bit loud. Oh, okay. Guess I'll lower that. Might be because I'm far from the mic though. Hold up. Yeah. This better? I hope so. I hope so. Gonna have to tell me if this is better.
Like I mentioned,
Yeah.
It's shots.
Thanks.
Wow, I can switch to X-ray mode too.
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene.
Alright, let's see. What do we have here?
The bottom part of the signboard is stuck pretty deep in there.
There's a bit of a curve at the tip. Kind of like a man's, you know what?
Yeah, I don't think I've
Couldn't
seen
you have
a
compared
man's
it
you
to a
know what
fish hook
that
or something?
like was pointed
Well,
like
it
an
won't
arrow.
come out easily. Whoever stuck it in probably didn't want it pulled out.
Of course not. A signboard would be useless unless it's standing.
It's useless unless it's standing?
Let's not go there.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, that was actually hinted. Oh, that was actually a hint at the conclusion. Okay, that's actually kind of clever. But yeah, this is a little bit similar to Danganronpa, if you're familiar with it. I don't think you are, but where you have to put things together, and sometimes there are a little bit of leaps of logic there, but it does make you feel like a detective.
What's this? There's something inside the body.
3 things catch my attention. First, a mixture of potassium chlorate, sulfur, and red phosphorus. This is probably a fire starter. It would ignite very easily. The fuse is coiled up and extends from there. By the way, the fuse includes an oxidizing agent, so it can continue to burn even inside the body. And finally, at the end of the fuse is a powder mixture of iron oxide and aluminum. This is a substance that causes a thermite reaction. When ignited, it creates heat of over 3,000 degrees Celsius and burns violently.
Alright then. By the way, why is your name Neon Blade 10? Couldn't you get Neon Blade just in general, or is there something behind that then? I doubt that there would be 9 other Neon Blades, right? It's not like it's a super common name to use online. Let's see where this wire leads, which I already know. Wow, can't actually press that? Huh, interesting. That is... Oh wait, can I press it now? No. Okay, interesting. Oh, do I actually have to press the...
It's a signboard.
Yeah?
Actually, I have to press the corpse
What's
before
this?
I do the
Getting
X-ray.
a better look at it, it looks like something tied to his waist. It's like a spider's thread. No, even thinner.
My analysis concludes that this is a CNT, or carbon nanotube. Graphene sheets with the thickness of a single carbon atom. These were rolled into a cylindrical shape to make these nanotubes. The diameter is about 0.4 nanometers. A single nanometer is 1/1000th of 1 meter, so it's not visible to the naked eye.
What? But I can see it.
That's because this thread is made by bundling multiple CNTs. I've also enhanced your vision so you'd be able to see it. By the way, CNTs are extremely durable. They're elastic and hard to break, and it's said that their theoretical maximum tensile strength is 50 times that of steel. Anyway, where is the other end of the CNT connected?
That way. Over by that red lamp.
Alrighty then. Yeah, so everything below Neon Blade 9 was taken, huh?
What's this?
That's rough.
It's the light switch.
The CNT is tied to it.
Alright, was that all the information that we needed? Yes, alright. These investigations are a lot shorter when you know exactly where you have to go. Which
Okay,
kinda makes
it
these
looks like we're
games
pretty much
only
done
a
investigating
one
here.
playthrough type
Using
of
the
games,
clues
in my
we've
opinion.
gathered so far, we should be able to solve the mystery.
Is it? I
You
had
mean
no
the mystery
fucking
of
clue.
how Jin's body appeared? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Didn't even know Neon had an atomic number or whatever that's supposed to be.
Let's get on that now. First thing, about that power outage when the body appeared. Was it really just a power outage?
I was wondering about that too. The lights came back on way too quickly. Plus, if the power did go out, the stream should have cut out at the same time.
But the stream went on, no problem.
So it wasn't an outage. The lights were switched off.
So how did the lights get turned off?
Well, I think I know what did it.
Alright, so when I initially played the game, I actually thought that someone turned turned the light like down, and that caused the corpse to fall, but it was actually the other way around, where someone caused the corpse to fall and that pulled the light down. So I think it was a pretty easy mistake to make. I do actually think
There were
it's
bundled CMTs
sort of
tied to the
smart
body.
how they did this, but there is one giant flaw in the plan that they're setting up here, and I'll tell you when it comes to it, but I always thought that it's a little, I don't know, little risky for the killer to do that.
They were routed through the ceiling beams and onto the light switch.
But a dead body can't pull strings.
No, but it can fall. From the ceiling, I mean.
Now that you mention it, I thought I heard something hit the floor right after the lights went out.
The body fell from the ceiling and tugged on the CNT, which caused the light switch to turn off.
So on to the next question. The corpse was hidden up in the ceiling, right?
I really hope
Then
I don't
how
have to
did
do
it
any
fall?
quick time events. Let's see, how did it fall? The culprit dropped it from above. The CNT, the rigor mortis softened. Yeah.
The culprit used the mechanism of the body softening after rigor mortis. The body must have been
Fair
placed up
enough.
in the ceiling like a bridge between two beams. It would stay up there while the body is still stiff.
How are things going, by the way? We can at least have a proper conversation like this. Like, I don't know if you... like, we haven't talked since D&D, so... Which... Wait, was D&D yet? No, it's Monday, so D&D was on Saturday, so... My times are a little bit fucked, because my whole sleeping schedule I have changed because of the summer heat and everything, so... Yesterday feels like today, 2 days ago feels like yesterday. It's all pretty fucked.
But as time passes and rigor mortis lessens, the corpse softens.
And that's what made it fall down.
Yeah, so
Now for the final question.
So I don't really understand how that wouldn't have been noticed, because the corpse was set between two beams, right? But it was set with the cut side down. So how did something not dribble down at any point, right? Even if you say, oh yeah, the body was mostly hollow or it had already bled out, there were still organs, and a body is pretty wet overall, even without the blood, right? So wouldn't at least something have dribbled down at some point during the shooting? And I think that if someone saw a red splotch on the ground, they might have looked above to see where it comes from, and oh my god, half a fucking body, what the fuck is going on? You know, then the whole trick would be gone. I get that this is just a gap in logic that they're going with because they need this to work out. I'm fine with that. It happened all the time in Phoenix, right? Boy, did it happen in Phoenix, right? Also happened a lot in Danganronpa, but it is something that I immediately thought, oh hey, how did that work? I guess maybe they could have wrapped the body in some sort of, I don't know, plastic wrap, but that would kind of ruin the message they wanted to send about it, I don't know, having been cut in half or teleported or whatever they wanted to do, right? So I'm not entirely sure how that went down.
Why did the body explode and burn?
Well, that can be explained by using the X-ray mode.
Ah, yes, because there was actual accelerant in the body.
The signboard is stuck deep in the corpse. So, how did the body burn?
Maybe the signboard was a bomb.
What?
It's kind of funny how you basically actually see what exploded the bomb while you're looking at the signboard.
It's because of the contraption set up inside the body. The ignition agent combusted from the impact of the body hitting the ground. The fire went up the coiled fuse and onto the substance that triggered a thermite reaction. The substance was eventually ignited, causing a huge explosion.
So that interval between the fall and explosion was because of the time it took for the fire to reach the end of the fuse.
There we
I
go.
get it. It was hard to find traces of that trick because it was such an analog method.
How else would it be done, though? I guess technically,
Alright, I think we're starting
you
to
could
figure
have
things out
had
here.
a bomb that would have exploded if you press a button or something, but I feel like bombs don't need to be anything but analog.
So you can turn off this VR space now.
No, not yet. That was just a rehearsal. We still have the main show.
What do you mean?
We're recreating the culprit's actions.
Are you telling me to do that?
You're the only actor here, aren't you?
Actor?
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting. So keep that in mind.
Are we recording something?
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor!
So Neon, just out of curiosity, but are you gonna do anything interesting today, or are you just free the entire day? That I'm not taking you from something important here to just listen to me,
Are you too much of a moron
or
to
listen
figure
to
this
a
out
game?
without the director having to tell you everything?
But
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Academy Award.
Macadamy? Like the nuts?
Enough! Let's get this started. Ready?
I still don't get that joke. Are there nuts
Action!
that are called Academy or something?
Hi! I'm, the culprit who killed Jin. Now, prepare to witness an amazing show featuring this corpse.
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what kind of character you're trying to play here.
I am an amateur.
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you a pass for now. Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Well, it was right here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's how they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward, onto the light switch.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
I've got it all set up. Now I just need to wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon! It needs to be soft and squishy! Like an octopus!
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
It
You
does.
made me do it!
It really doesn't.
And after time passed, rigor mortis began to subside.
The body falls, and the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse inside the body reaches the explosives.
Dude.
And that is the truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion!
Cut! Good work. I got some nice footage of the reenactment.
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary.
Or how there's actual footage. If I remember correctly, this was in a mindscape.
It all makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't. Though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Just like the Philadelphia experiment. Someone went through all that trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video.
Right, let's see. About the reason the corpse cross-section was face downward. Yeah, I actually thought that was kind of clever that they used the sign to make sure that the body was face downward. I hadn't thought about that initially when I played the game, but that's kind of clever.
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
Yes, like you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was standing erect. Just like a man's you-know-what.
Hilarious.
Again with that joke? Besides, it is not useless when it's not erect.
Yeah, as much as I like these games, I do think that the sense of humor can be pretty, sometimes.
Exactly.
What?
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign. It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell. The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right? It would have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so. The stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours. The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period. Their goal was to make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon. That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Because it would give away the trick?
Right.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT. So, to wrap it all up, the culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon and to spread the QR video, right?
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but probably.
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Who knows?
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet. Anyway, starting our search for the people who might have the intel we need is #1 rule of investigation, right?
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show. There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
You mean... the director, Shinpei Wagai.
Right.
Where
Oh
is he
shit, I
now?
do actually have
I've
to do a
tracked him
quick
down
time
using his
event. Damn
smartphone
it.
GPS.
I really don't
He's
like
in
quick time
Akihabara
events.
right now. At the Maid Cafe Sunfish Pocket.
Alright, let's just prepare. Let's just mentally prepare for the quick time event. Alrighty then. Let's do this. I can do this. I really don't like quick time events. They're just not fun in my opinion. These... oh! Look! Zero escape. Look. 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 If you're not looking, there's actually a sign of zero escape. I don't know if you know what zero... oh, it's gone. Never mind. Also, character.
There he is!
Ah, shit!
Damn!
Alright, I can do this. I can do this. I can absolutely do this. Come on, let's do this. Alright. Oh, fuck. Always fucking panic. Okay, I think that the next one is gonna be an R1 or something like that. Which I think it's a dick move. You're expecting everything to be done with the L stick, and then you have an R1 out of nowhere. Also, Guy has crazy reflexes for being able to dodge a bullet. I am really glad they don't have as many QuickTime events in this game.
Firing your gun in here? Are you insane? There are customers and staff in here.
My bad.
An apology is not gonna cut it.
Several people have called the authorities. The local police should be here soon.
Hey, can't you just let me go?
What?
I told you, my girl's pregnant, right? I can't go to jail! That's why I accepted his offer in the first place. I needed money to take care of my kid.
Accepted whose offer?
Some guy named Terror. I don't know his real name. Haven't seen his face or heard his voice either. All my contact with him was through Nile.
What did he ask you to do?
He said,
I want to borrow your studio for an hour or so on the 10th before you start preparing for the stream. Do not let anyone near the studio during this time, that includes you. All you need to do is keep the entrance unlocked, that's all. If you pay, I'll pay you 5 million. If everything goes well, I'll pay you on the night of the 11th.
So me and the staff haven't met this terror guy at all. I don't know what happened in the studio either. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
Come to class 3 at Sabaki High. Again, kinda weird that he would choose a high school.
Class 3
I am
at
guessing
High.
that it is actually one of
Yeah,
those high school
Let's go.
girls from the game. So I don't think it's gonna be Iris, but it might be either blue hair chick, which I don't remember her name, or brown hair chick, which again, didn't remember her name. Not great with names, unfortunately. Yeah. I was actually a little surprised there. Stopped me right in my tracks
The
when I was
director of
talking.
Horodori Institute of Genetics. Chikara Horodori.
Oh, wait, I just realized something.
No way. It can't be.
I just realized something, but every time we do a somnium on someone, they die. At least when it comes to Chikara here. Huh, that's actually a thing. Is this where
Mr.
we ended?
Date told me about this shrine. This place is so full of nature. Just like Yoyagi Park. It's just calming here.
I see.
The way she says "I see"
Tama,
kind
do
of
you mind
implies
giving me
there's
some
something
support?
going on there.
What do you mean?
I've been thinking about Chikara's murder.
Are you sure you're okay, Ryuki?
What do you mean?
I feel like all of this has been taking a huge mental toll on you.
I'm fine. More importantly, can you recreate the crime scene for me? I just need to close my eyes, right?
Yeah, but... Fine. I'll play along. You are technically my master. I can't disobey your orders.
Thanks. Let's start then. It's perfect. It's just like the real thing.
I learned how to do 3D modeling in a correspondence course. Back when I was a student, my grandma told me I should learn a skill set. I'm sorry, Ryuki. This might freak you out, but there's something I have to tell you. Will you hear me out?
What?
The thing is, this corpse is so cowardly that...
It has
It
no
has
guts.
no guts!
What?
I know. That was so bad. The joke was over before I even said it. But I just had to do it. I mean, look, the corpse is completely missing its guts. I couldn't let this chance pass me by.
Yeah, so apparently, because I questioned this the first time I played through it too, apparently how the corpse is sticking to the wall is by suction effect. So, you know how if you remove all the air out of something like a cup, it would stick to that surface? Well, apparently they somehow achieved that as well with a freaking corpse, which genuinely that surprises me. Like, how would you even do that? It's not like a corpse or half a corpse is airtight, right?
Chikara's right side. The cross-section is stuck right
Pretty
into the
gruesome as well.
blackboard.
What's the estimated time of death?
Based on the time the body was discovered, that would make it about 4 hours ago.
So, around 8 p.m. on February 11th, right around the time we were meeting with Tokiko.
Looks like there aren't any other clues here.
Well, satisfied?
What about the security cameras? Is Terry the culprit?
That's
More than
my
likely.
assumption. I can't think of any other suspects.
Just who is this terror?
I wouldn't be having so much trouble if I knew that.
Why are you applying
It
logic
can't
to
be
anime games, sir?
Tokiko, can it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Normally I'm all for the rule of cool, but I think I'm looking at it a little bit more critically because I've already seen it. So anything that I thought, oh, that's a little off, I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense. To be fair though, you are right, this is an anime game. I'm not gonna expect anime to make sense, right?
Tokiko was with me at Chikara's time of death, and she was in Okinawa during the incident with Jin.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems unlikely that she did it personally.
But something has been bothering me. I feel like Tokiko is involved somehow. Chikara was a member of NICE, and he knew about Bats 490.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
That's not all. The appearance of Jin's corpse was made to seem like a paranormal phenomenon, as if the same thing from the Philadelphia experiment had happened.
After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program.
Could she have done all this to give her claim credibility?
I don't know, but it's possible.
Yeah, personally, I don't think she would have. She would have the manpower to have someone killed and then set everything up while she would be somewhere else. But I feel like it's a little far-fetched. Even though initially I did think that she was the one that did it. Because she has that vibe where it's like, yeah, clearly she knows things that she shouldn't. Or she knows something about the situation.
I think he was lying about the money. Terror probably wanted someone to find Chikara's body.
You mean he wanted Chimpei to find it?
Not necessarily. It might have been for the police. Terror might have predicted that someone from the police would contact Chimpei. I checked the footage, but I didn't see anyone suspicious. Of course, that place is huge, so there are plenty of areas the security cameras don't cover.
Any cameras on campus?
None. Do you remember what Gen said? The security at Sekiba High is completely lacking.
Yeah, which actually puts him on the suspect list. Gen is a giant guy with a mask for a face. You know, a bit of a Jason Voorhees stab. Which doesn't help him in this situation.
In any case, let's go see Tokiko. I have to talk to her.
Understood. We've come this far. I'll back you up until you're satisfied.
Again, Tama is talking to Ryuki as if something is going on that Ryuki doesn't know about, but Tama does. He does have weird episodes, Ryuki, so there might be something mentally going on, which I don't know about, but
I've been expecting you.
I'm
thought
not entirely
you would be
sure.
arriving soon.
What do you mean?
I mean, I knew you would come see me.
In the previous game, I actually had to administer some sort of... I don't remember exactly what it is, but it was some sort of happy whatever stuff that you get in your brain. I don't remember the exact name for it, because Date had a shortage of that naturally, and it made it so that he wasn't a giant psychopath or something. But I don't think that they're gonna pull the exact same thing in the second game, so I wonder what this is actually about. Maybe Ryuki doesn't have his memories, or maybe something happened. He is a little weird with all the half-might stuff.
As you know, this is the President's office at the NICE Japan branch.
The world is full of rubbish. Such things should all be washed away. That was my thinking when I designed this room.
You designed it.
Yes, the flow of water cleanses one's heart, just like the flow of time.
Not really. She's a kind woman. But I obviously wouldn't tell you even if I did know something. As her secretary, it's part of my job to protect her secrets.
Mamoru is an excellent employee who faithfully fulfills his duties. I have complete trust in him.
I'm honored to hear that. I respect you from the bottom of my heart as well.
Gag.
These aren't sunglasses. It's a fairy's black bra.
What a degenerate.
Jin's right half didn't teleport.
I
Let's
know
just
of the
talk
incident,
about
of
Chikara's
course.
murder.
However,
Yes, I know you have an alibi. We were here, having a conversation during the time of Chikara Horadori's death. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're completely innocent. You are the president of NICE. Surely you have plenty of subordinates who can do your bidding.
are you implying I ordered someone to kill him?
It's a possibility.
And what would be my motive?
Well...
Remember what Tokiko said. Chikara Horadori is an avid believer in the Order of Percent. Their order and NICE are heading in completely different directions.
Perhaps NICE and the Order of Percent are hostile.
I see. You're suggesting there was a conflict between organizations. It is true that NICE and the Order of Percent have differing beliefs. However, we are not at odds with one another. Both organizations believe in the simulation theory. In that respect, we are comrades. We are living in a simulation, a false world. And from this false world, we seek emancipation. That is what NICE believes. On the other hand, the Order of Percent, we are living in a simulation, a false world. But they wish to remain imprisoned within it. Forever.
Forever?
Mr. Ryuki, have you ever played an open-world game where you play as a criminal?
A game that lets you rob, murder, blow things up, leave a trail of debris wherever you go. An absurd, heinous game where you can freely commit all sorts of horrible crimes.
Says the game where people are cut in half.
I've never played anything like that, but I know what you mean.
Then you can understand. If this is a false world created by someone, then the Order of Percent believe they can do whatever they wish. To them, this place is a true utopia. A dream world where they're allowed to do anything they want with no real consequences.
That's why they want to live here forever?
Exactly.
I get it. That's why Chikara was researching immortality.
In theory, using Purge, even immortality is achievable. The ultimate dream that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality. What do you think? Isn't that wonderful?
About Chikara's research on immortality.
I'm aware that Chikara was very particular about immortality. However, I will say one thing. One must not believe in eternal youth. Eternal youth is a lie.
Do you know something about Shinpei Wagai?
No, I don't.
Then do you know about terror?
I've heard that name on the news, yes. This is about the culprit, is it not?
Yes, but...
I have absolutely no idea who it could be. I'm sorry I can't help you, but...
I've solved the mystery, Miss Shigure. Jin's right half didn't teleport. It was just made to seem that way. It should have been obvious when you think about it. Teleportation? It's impossible. We live in a simulation? This is a fake world created by a program? Impossible. Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. Just a ludicrous myth like UFOs, ghosts, and Kappa. I'm sure there are people who'd like to believe in these things. And there are groups who profit by making people believe.
Mr. Ryuki, it appears as though there's been some misunderstanding. We of NICE have nothing to do with this.
Are you sure about that? All the pieces would fit together if NICE is the one that made the QR video. The falsified paranormal phenomenon. What was written on the signboard. It all advances your agenda. Could it be that you wanted to spread the QR video by showing that sign along with the corpse on stream?
As I've told you, we are not the ones who made the QR video. What is the purpose of the QR video in the first place? Are you saying there is some message urging people to join NICE in it? By the way, Mr. Ryuki, do you remember what you said earlier? Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. That is clearly false. The simulation theory is not a cult. It falls within the realm of science. In fact, many esteemed scientists have given serious thought to the matter. The theory was originally proposed by a Swedish philosopher. However, the concept has been around since long ago, even as far back as the days of Plato and Zhuangzi. This world may be an illusion. At least, there is no way to prove it isn't an illusion. There are great people throughout history who have held such ideas.
But there's no way to prove it is an illusion either, is there?
No, there is plenty of science to support it. The holographic principle, theory of relativity, the measurement problem in quantum theory can also be considered proof.
Alright, so now we're just gonna go over a bunch of these theories. I could, after doing one of them, say, oh, what a nice watch you have there. And apparently in Japan, if you point out that someone has a nice watch, if they, for example, don't have a watch, it means, hey, can you hurry this conversation along? Because I don't have time for this. Which apparently is considered really rude, but less rude than just saying outright, hey, guy, it's fun that it's fun for you to talk about this and all, but I have better shit to do today. So yeah, I didn't know that at the time when I first played the game, so... or first played this bit. So I was actually a little bit upset.
Even light cannot escape a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before. Information is the same. It cannot escape a black hole. It's known that the amount of information trapped in this way is not derived from the volume of the black hole, but the surface area. Considering this, you can conclude that information in a three-dimensional space is stored in the boundary of its two-dimensional surface. In other words, all information stored in this universe is encoded in a single flat plane, just like a hologram. Regarding gravity and other physical processes, they can be completely accounted for through the laws of physics defined by the boundary surface. Let's take a character from an action game, for example. When that character falls, you may think he was pulled to the ground by gravity. However, gravity does not actually exist in the game world, only code that was written in the program. The character's body is merely made to show as if it fell based on its code.
You think this world is the same?
The holographic principle is not a theory. It is a principle. It has already been mathematically proven. I'd like to ask you one thing. Beings that are far more intelligent and advanced than we humans. Do you believe a civilization of such beings exists anywhere in this world? And by this world, I mean all possible worlds in the entire universe, including those outside of our own.
I say yes. It would be kind of weird if humanity is the epitome of all sentient or sapient life. We're pretty fucking dumb, so...
Well, somewhere out there, probably.
I agree. Taking that into consideration, we're left with three possibilities. 1. Civilization hasn't reached a level of technology advanced enough to create a simulation that can't be distinguished from reality. 2. Civilization has reached a level of technology advanced enough to accomplish this, but it hasn't for some reason. 3. Civilization has reached that level of technology and has no strong reason not to use it. Therefore, they've proceeded with creating an intricate simulation. Which of these do you think is most likely?
Are you saying it's 3?
That is what a famous Swedish philosopher believed, at least. He further explains, that civilization must have run simulations millions or even trillions of times. In which case, it would make sense to believe our world would be included in one of those simulations.
But it would also make just as much sense to say that it isn't. If you got infinite worlds, then you have an infinite chance that our world wouldn't be in a simulation, but also infinite chance that our world would be in a simulation. So in the end, it really doesn't really say anything. Also, if there are infinite worlds, that means that every world would eventually happen in both. So there would be a world that is exactly like this, but it isn't in a simulation, and there would be a world exactly like this that would be a simulation. You know, if we're talking infinities here, then that's just kind of how that works. If you have infinity, then no matter how small the odds, everything will eventually happen. So, you know, that's also, I guess, technically how some people see immortality, because if you have infinite time or infinite worlds or infinite universes, then technically, at some point, the exact same path will play out again. So, you know, it might be billions, millions, trillions, infinite amount of time before another Felix is streaming AI the Somnium File, but it will eventually happen. You know, that's how infinity works. So I guess technically, under some definition, you are right, but you can also be absolutely wrong depending on like what's going on here.
You're saying it's far more likely that we're one of the countless simulated worlds, rather than a world that exists in the one and only reality. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Say this world really is a simulation. Then that would mean a computer or something that's running the simulation exists somewhere, right? But it doesn't seem realistic that everything that happens in the universe could be derived by calculation.
Yes, you are right. However, there is no need to calculate every phenomenon, only what observers see and experience. Take the measurement problem in quantum theory. It explains the inexplicable phenomenon observed in the double-slit experiment. Quantum matter appears as particles when observed, and as waves when not observed. For the latter, its position cannot be specified because it exists as a stochastic wave. Therefore, it must be calculated and processed as the entire wave, and is impossible to reduce. The faster an object moves, or as the effects of gravity increase along with the increase in mass, time progresses slower, as I'm sure you know.
And that's related to processing speed?
Yes. When the load during calculation is increased, a phenomenon akin to a processing failure occurs. That is why nothing can exceed the speed of light. The calculation wouldn't be able to catch up if acceleration is infinite. I see. Then let us leave it at that. In any case, there is no denying that the simulation theory is true. But unlike Chikara, I have no interest in the concept of immortality, because my objective is to tear at the seams of this world and emancipate us all.
So you mean dying?
No. Death and emancipation are completely different. I have no desire to commit suicide, though I would be fine with dying at any time.
Because this world isn't real.
There is that, yes. However, there is another reason. If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself. We are living in a false world created by a program. Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles, like reincarnation, or even bringing someone who has already passed back to life.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Has this woman lost it? Ryuki, you were right. There's clearly a lot of reasons to be suspicious of Tokiko.
Yeah. Let's check with WingSync.
Alright, let's do that JoJo pose. Let's go.
I saw everything. If you don't do as I say, I'm sure you know where this is going.
I feel like this is probably
What
Gen.
is this?
Looks like Tokiko is blackmailing someone.
What is it she saw?
I don't know. This is as far as we can get through WingSync.
Then...
Yes, let's get a deeper look into her mind. Using a regular sync.
Ryuki, just to confirm, you did get permission, right?
Yes, she accompanied me voluntarily and...
No, I meant from Boss.
I haven't seen Boss. She wasn't in the control room.
It's fine. I'll be sure to talk to her later.
I don't think this is a good idea. Besides, you don't look so good, Ryuki.
I'm fine. So please, I need more leads to solve this case.
But you...
But what is happening with Ryuki? Why is everybody so
Fine.
suspiciously
I'll help you for
careful
now,
around him?
but I won't be held responsible. Deal? Look, Ryuki, please just don't cause any problems. You can only stay in Somnium for 6 minutes. I absolutely need you to follow this rule.
Yes, understood.
Okay then, let's begin.
I wonder, do I still have the time pressure, or what's going on there?
I wonder if this is the Nye's president's room. It's really white, though.
Let's make an acronym poem with the letters for Nyes.
Where the hell is this coming from?
N!
Okay. N. Not that I know why.
A!
A. Angry. I. Incoming?
X!
Shingu River Ray.
Not that I know why. Angry incoming Shingu River Ray. The Shingu River Ray. Such a kind animal.
Angered by humans polluting waterways, I guess.
I wonder if I still have the 6 limit time limit, because I already did this.
Activate.
But I'm not sure if I have to specifically say, oh yeah, I want it to be a Somnium where I don't have a time limit. I don't remember how that works. But hey, positive, I can get all those extra eyeballs if I don't have a time limit. This Somnium is fairly time intensive, so unless I specifically do have no time limit, I will have to just rush through it.
This is such a quiet place. So empty and blank.
Maybe that's Tokiko's mental state. Pretty eccentric. Hopefully we can find something here.
Looks like we can only interact with that ripped up book.
Right. Let's investigate.
Okay, I do actually have a time limit. Alright, then we gotta rush this.
A book of Nye's teachings. Why is it ripped in half?
Does it say anything?
Yeah, just one phrase. The intersection between the warp and weft. The rest is ripped off.
I remember Tokiko saying something like that.
The intersection between the warp and weft, that's where the seam can occur. Right?
I wonder what she meant by that.
Who knows? Why don't you join Nyes to find out? Anyway, that's about all that we can get from this book.
Yeah, so because you probably don't know how Somnium works, Neon, I'll explain it a bit. So basically, this is the main gameplay section of the game, where you're meant to find clues and sometimes solve puzzles while being on a time limit, and every action you take will shave off a little bit of that time. So it's basically just trying to find the right things to click on with the time limit. And you usually have some puzzles hidden in between there as well. So I think it's fairly fun. I'm not really great with time limits though,
When did
but
this get here?
they are
This wasn't here
fairly generous with it, I'd say. Unless you really take your time exploring. You won't run out of a time limit. This Somnium specifically was probably the one that I struggled with the most, and I only I guess ran out of time once realistically because I fucked about too much in the beginning. But usually you have about a minute or so left in any given Somnium when you end it, so there's a little bit of wiggle room there. It's not like they expect you to have picture perfect timing on everything.
What does it say?
That's where the seam can occur. Combining it with the book from earlier, the intersection between the warp and weft, that's where the seam can occur.
That's exactly what Tokiko said. If it's coming out in her Somnium, it must hold some significance.
That's just what we saw in the wing sink.
Little creepy. Is something happening? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yay, blood. Looks more like, I guess, soda or something than blood. But I suppose it's hard to make blood realistic. Oh shit, it's again. It's hard to make blood realistic in 3D. Just looks like Gatorade or something. Also, it looks tasty. I wouldn't drink it, obviously, because you don't know where that has been. But could you imagine a fountain made out of soda? Oof.
I can't really make out what happened, though. I did see Gen, I think.
It was just really chaotic.
Maybe the key to solving this Somnium has to do with what we found in the Nye's book.
The intersection between the warp and weft, that's where the seam can occur. That will help us? I don't know about that. I don't see how that will help us right now.
I don't think it's completely unrelated, but...
The next suspicious thing is...
Do you see anything?
Not really. Seems a lot deeper. It was pretty shallow earlier.
Let's dive in!
What? Dive? Here?
Yeah. Where else would I be talking about?
But it's really deep. And red. What if there's an angry Shingu River Ray in there?
Enough with the complaining. You don't even need to breathe. It'll be fine. Go for it.
Fine. Why do you always gain this weird confidence during sinks?
It's kind of funny. That they actually bother having you go down
That was surprising.
yourself.
All of a sudden,
Because
we're
in the
out of the
previous
water.
game, they would have probably just made an animation of Tama jumping in and then jumping out. I'm not really sure why they bother doing it. I don't really mind. It gives you a little bit, I don't know how to say it, a little bit more agency in the game, I guess. But it isn't like there's actually anything in the water, so... I had expected there to be some sort of eyeball there, but from what I've seen, there isn't actually any.
We fell from up there.
Looks cool, though.
But we ended up in the same room. Oh look, the book again.
Let's check it out.
This one's not ripped. Just another single phrase. Where the black light gathers, sadness is born.
Where the black light gathers. Whoa, skulls? Why is Tokiko thinking about this?
Wait, I sense something. What is this thing? Huh. You're not doing anything. With this and the skulls, this is getting really creepy all of a sudden.
Maybe that's the black. Let's just search the room for now.
Yeah, If we can't find anything, we'll reread the book and think through our options again.
Yeah, no worries, Neon. Neon just messaged me saying that he has to leave, which I get. Also, this hasn't been a too exciting stream. I'm just trying to get through everything, which probably not super fun to see. But yeah, so the logic behind this puzzle is that you have to find... so you have 3 shade men. I don't know what else to call them here. Just they're shady, I guess. Shade men in the room. You can't see them from a specific distance, but all of them are basically... you have to find the skull that is in the line of sight of all of them. So there's one over there. I'm not gonna actually walk to... Well, I guess I can walk to it. There's one over there. There was one before there. And then you have one right over here. So you have to see, okay, so which one is in the line of sight of all of them? And that would be this one.
This one is bigger and misshapen.
Oh.
Again?
I just realized something,
It looks
but...
like he's in pain.
I just
Why?
realized something, but it might be a spoiler, so I'm going to leave that for next time. But it is interesting. Yeah, definitely. I think I'm right about this.
Huh?
It's kind of weird that I didn't put 2 and 2 together the first time.
Disappeared. I wonder what the relationship between Tokiko and Gen is.
What was that?
Ryuki, you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like the book was the hint. Where the black light gathers, sadness is born.
After the sync, we need to ask Tokiko about Gen.
Did you see that? It became Shoma for a split second. Maybe Tokiko is related to him as well.
Why Shoma? Tama, make chase! Throw yourself in the water!
You make it sound like I'm committing suicide. Okay, here I go. It's the same room again. But this time, the room itself is underwater too.
If this is the same as earlier, there has to be something related to Shoma.
Alright, so... First we have to grab this book, but... Well, I'll explain the puzzle when it's actually introduced.
It says, where the water and ideas flow, love is born.
More metaphors, huh? It must be some kind of hint, like last time. It's a hand. And this.
The non-upal X symbol.
I remember Tokiko mentioning it.
I'm curious about the water and ideas flow part.
Anyway, let's check inside.
Yeah, if we get stuck, we can read the hint again and figure it out.
Ryuki, you have 5 minutes remaining.
Alright, so... what you basically have to do is... Start over here, and then... Fuck off for a second.
How should I check? High five?
When in Rome. How about making the same hand sign?
So basically you have to interact with these hands in a specific order, and the flow of water gives you that order.
I don't think this is right.
So this
Maybe
wasn't
you're doing
right.
it wrong. No, she didn't.
So, like, that was the right one. That wasn't the right one, but right now, as you can see, we're flowing with the water. And luckily for us, it actually doesn't count this as moving because we are not moving. So it means that we don't have to waste too much time going from one hand to the other, but as you can see, the water is forcing us to those hands over there. Which means that if we press that, then we will get the first one.
It lit up.
This world is alive. Do you understand?
Was that Tokiko's voice?
It sounded like she was talking to someone.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm just quickly gonna... I'll be right back. Hold up a second. Alright, there we go. Let's be real quick. I really hope that my my camera still moves with my controller now. Don't feel like restarting the game again. Alrighty then, so now we're just gonna have to go to the other hand, and as you can see we'll just have to follow... fuck, I don't remember. Yeah, we have to follow this stream apparently. Personally, I'm not a fan of this puzzle, not to be overly negative, but it's mainly because you're just waiting to get to those hands, you know? I don't know, it's just... I feel it's not too bad because it's only a couple seconds overall, but maybe I'm just not patient enough, but it just feels like a fairly boring way to do things. Maybe I'm just not patient enough. I don't mind the puzzle per se, because I think having to press things in the right order isn't a bad puzzle. It's simple, but it can be effective. It's just that having to wait for the flow to take you there is just, I don't know, not the best option, I think.
It's settled. You will follow my orders.
Oh shit, I forgot about this. Okay, maybe it's good that I have to redo this Somnium, because it is making me actually get a bunch of theories. And I forgot about this. Like, this implies that Shoda did actually join Nice and Locks and is following Tokiko's orders, which I was kidding before about Shoma being the murderer, but he might actually be the murderer. Well, not these murders, but future murders, Misaki route murders, you know? Which would be kinda sad, because he has a thing for Misaki, and I'm gonna have to kick his ass as Misaki.
Tokiko's voice again.
I wonder who she's talking to. She can't be talking to herself.
Alright, also, I wish they made the streams just a little bit more colorful. I feel like the green doesn't really pop that much over the white, and it's a little hard to actually see where you're going.
Let's transcend this world together.
Wait, she must be talking to...
Shoma.
Yuki, look! Outside the window.
Shoma?
What's going on?
So she does have a relationship with Shoma.
Maybe what we heard earlier was for Shoma too.
Love is born.
Let's think about it later. Look at that.
Guessing that a bunch of people died there. Or not died, because both Gen and Shoma aren't dead, but maybe...
It looks painful.
I have a bad feeling about this. Follow it.
I'm not really sure what this is implying, but for now let's just keep going. Something about falling, but not wanting to fall. Maybe it's some sort of rabbit hole analogy where when you know about the simulation theory, you never can
4
go
minutes
back.
remaining.
You know, maybe it stops the meaning of, it will stop you feeling the meaning of life and all that.
It's the same room again, but vertical?
This is really messing with my sense of balance. How far does this room even go?
Another book. Hopefully this is the last.
It says, when the eyes are met, death is born.
Death. Tokiko is getting more and more suspicious.
Maybe our focus should be on knives. The book and an eyeball.
Do you think that's what is meant by eyes are met?
Maybe it's talking about me.
You are an eyeball. Tama, why don't you lock eyes with it?
Are you trying to kill me? It said death is born.
Then, when the eyes are met is... a big eyeball.
Like I said, that old woman is crazy. So what's it gonna be?
I guess we'll flip it. The is one could be useful, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get it.
And spin. I set the eyes to face each other.
Yeah, so basically what we have to do here is have all the eyes face each other. And if you look at not that book, fuck, it is actually kind of rough seeing everything. Did I have to actually make those eyes face each other? I don't think so. I might have fucked up though. Yeah, so as you can see, we got the book over here that is open. So and we have to just close it so that eyes are facing each other again.
It's filled with eyes. Got it.
The only real trap in this puzzle is wasting a bunch of time. By not doing the right route to close all the books and flipping all the eyes.
Do it.
And I'll be honest, I might have fucked it up because I feel like there was also one above me, but yeah, I know what negatives are. They're basically timies, but they give you additional time instead of positive time. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep going, and if I fuck up, I fuck up. I can always just retry. There's also an eye over there.
A red book.
Oh, I don't feel like I clicked on that one specifically, but alright. Thank God those timies don't stack, by the way, because if those negative timies stacked, then I would have been totally fucked. That one is already closed, so I don't think I needed to... Yeah, okay, I was right actually, good.
So, did we make the eyes meet?
I think we should be fine. I don't think there are any other eyes except for
You have 3
one.
minutes left. Get it together, Ryuki.
Yeah, there we go. That's the last one, I'm pretty
An
sure.
eyeball.
Is this what eyes meeting means?
Please tell me that there isn't another one that I fucked up, because this is a pretty time-intensive part of the puzzle. As you can see, I went through a lot of time in this.
A new book.
When the eyes are met, death is born. Death. Tama, let's check that out too.
Alrighty then. Oh. As you can see, I went from having almost five minutes to having barely 2.
It's a new book of nice teachings. This time, it's closed. Huh? A mirror.
It's kind of funny, because in this specific Somnium, I don't think that the positive timies, so the ones that lessen the amount of time you spend, actually help in the puzzle all that much, because you will always have negative timies after a certain point, and those negative timies take priority, and I'm pretty sure you can double stack timies, so it really doesn't matter. It might though. Maybe I should try it out at some point. Not really sure if there's a reason to at this point anymore. Little hungry. To be fair, I haven't eaten anything yet today. I basically woke up and decided to stream. I just wanted to get this done. Normally I don't stream when I have that kind of attitude towards the game I'm playing. Being like, okay, I just have to get this done. But I know for a fact that if I didn't do it now, I would have totally forgotten it, and I would have never done it, and it would have bothered me. At least whenever I thought about it.
So many people. What is Tokiko thinking?
Probably that she killed a bunch of people to try and break the seams. Pretty fucked up. I am gonna try and see if those timies stack, because if they do, I might be able to shave a lot of time off of the next part. I otherwise don't see a point in giving so many 1 second timies, or allowing the player to get as many 1 second timies, except for if it's a trap. That could be the case, but that's a little mean, because this is the, I think the...
So you want me to dive in again?
This is the second Somnium. This is the second Somnium where you actually get timies. So it would be a pretty bad precedent to establish. Yeah, timies are traps. Oop. Well, we still have about 2 minutes though, so we should be good. First time I played this Somnium, I only had maybe 10 seconds left.
I was gonna fall forever.
You got some balls, Tama.
Thanks.
Oh, there's an
But
eye
there's
over there as
nothing
well,
here.
I think. Or is
Doesn't
that
look like
the...
we can learn anything
Is that
here.
the smudge? That might be a smudge.
That's...
I saw something in the distance there, so I think I'm still right, but...
At the end of an incomplete world, truth is born.
That's...
Non-Upal X. There's something there.
Let's go.
Right, so this is the place where the
Ryuki,
first time I
less than
played,
2 minutes left.
I
Be careful.
ran out of time. Mainly because it takes so freaking long to actually get to this place. Like, look at this. If you have anything less than, let's say, a minute left, you're basically fucked. It's a cool scene though. This looks really cool. I think that one thing they do a lot better. Yeah, thanks. One thing that they do a lot better in this AI the Somnium File game than in the first one is that they do play a lot more with the whole dreamscape, which I like. Jeez, come on, almost there, almost there. Oh, scary. I would have totally panicked if I didn't know that I do have enough time to get there. But look at this. Less than a minute and you are fucked. Oh.
30 seconds left.
Shit. Okay, I panicked there for a second.
Is it some kind of planning sheet? It says NirvanA Initiative.
They said it.
NirvanA
They said it.
Initiative.
No good. There's too much blacked out.
Come on. Isn't there anything else?
Ryuki, we're almost out of time.
Wait. Try reading more of it.
Pewter, please.
I do feel like more than likely, because they name dropped the title of the game, Nikes is gonna be at the core of this whole half-body murders. I'm guessing that this is some sort of grand plan to break at the seams, you know, maybe get enough people to realize, oh hey, world simulation, and that may be breaking the seams. Hell, maybe they're gonna try and break the simulation by going faster than light, who the fuck knows? But yeah, as you can see, even though I knew exactly what I was doing, it was still fairly close time-wise in this Somnium. I don't think you would be able to go for the additional eyeballs unless you genuinely have infinite time here, which you do have an option to do that, which is one of the additions that I really like about this game. It allows you to explore the Somnium a lot more.
Miss Shigure, I've taken a look inside your mind, using this machine.
Yeah, she's not really gonna speak to us, unfortunately.
Shoma Enda. I know you know about him. Can you tell me about your relationship with him? Do you know someone named Gen Ishiagane? He appeared in your dream. The NirvanA Initiative. Is it some sort of plan?
Seems like we're done here.
Tokiko Shigure is not a suspect. We can't detain her without clear grounds to do so.
So we have to release her. I guess we have no choice.
You don't have to explain. The images shown in Somnium are all displayed here in the control room.
It seems you have many questions for me, but I apologize. I'm afraid I have prior engagements. Could you please visit me at my office again at 10 o'clock tonight? I would be happy to share more information with you then. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh,
Wait,
there we are.
where's Pewter?
He went to see Tokiko off.
I see. So, what do I do now?
Figure that out yourself.
Okay, rude. Let's see.
You think this is a damn joke? Don't make me sentence you to a panting!
I don't know what that
What?
means.
What is that? In that Somnium earlier, Gen appeared. And Shoma did too.
So Tokiko definitely knows them.
Yeah.
Yet-
I have a bit
Could
of
you
a
please
theory.
visit me at my office
I guess I
again
could
at
share
10
it.
o'clock
It's a little
tonight?
bit spoilery with information that you'll get a bit later, but it's not, oh my god, major spoilery. So I think that Gen... Wait, fuck no. Never mind. I'll wait. I can tell you guys in this stream
Tama,
anyway.
what time is it now?
It's so hard to
A
not
little
say
past
anything, man.
1300.
I had a
We
couple
have
of...
almost 9 whole hours until the appointed time.
I had a couple of insights, so it's genuinely painful not being able to talk about it. When it comes to games like this, where you have a mystery to solve and you think you figured something out and you can't share it, it's absolutely painful.
Anyway, let's talk to Gen and Shoma. Where are they now?
Well, I can't track down either of them. Either their phones are out of battery, their GPS is off, or they're somewhere without any signal.
Then we'll have to take a guess. Maybe Shoma is at school.
No, he hasn't been there in a while.
He hasn't been going to school?
It seems not.
Well, I'll get to that later. So then Shoma must be at home. Or...
Yes, he really loves this Ferris wheel too.
At the rooftop amusement park at Misatan.
Gen is probably at his restaurant, or the warehouse district at the port. He once told me he loves the warehouse district, and that he goes there all the time to look at the sea.
So we have 4 destinations to check. Let's get moving.
Alright, so I am actually genuinely curious here, because last time I first checked Enda's residence, and then the Misaton department store, and then they just said, oh yeah, Shoma isn't at the Misaton department store. So I'm curious to see if I pick now the opposite order, if Shoma is gonna be at the Misaton department store. Would be interesting. Maybe I'll get slightly different information.
Ryuki, why did you come here?
I thought Shoma might be here. I still need to ask him some questions.
But it looks like he's not here.
Looks like it.
Anyway, no point in staying here.
Okay, so no, it's
Unless
not
you're
gonna
planning on
change
doing
anything.
A ritual to summon UFOs.
Maybe another time.
This is the
Let's
exact
go somewhere
same way
else.
that it played out previously. That's a little disappointing. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. So I'm guessing that if I go to Yoagi Park, that I'll be able to skip all of this, which I'm not gonna do because I do want people to see this. Yeah, so it doesn't really change if I go to the
Shoma,
other ones first.
The director of Horodori Institute, Chikara Horodori, was killed. Did you know about that?
Why are you asking me? Of course I know. A killer calling himself Terror did it. But he hasn't been caught yet.
That's why. I want you to help me. Help me uncover Terror's identity.
So it actually... So I do think that Shoma is working for Nice, that he may have actually sent us to the Chikara whatever Horadori Institute on purpose, so that we will meet Chikara and then maybe get the information from him from Somnium. I'm not sure if Somnium is actually a public institution that people actually know about it. Nobody is actively surprised when they're like, "Oh my god, you can go into my dreams." So I'm guessing that it is. So wouldn't be out of left field to think that maybe they actually try to use Somnium to their advantage.
It's an Ada Rooster doll.
Oh, okay. Couldn't actually wing sync before, so
Why?
this is good.
Why me?
Why what?
What?
Tokiko. Tokiko Shigure. I think you might know her. Then what about NICE? Tokiko is the president of NICE.
Why does that matter?
It matters. Terror is definitely related to the QR video. There's a high probability that the video was made by Tokiko, who's the president of NICE.
So what? Leave me alone. Please. I just want to be left alone.
Yeah, no, this actually makes a lot of sense. The desperation in his voice here does... I feel like he's struggling with a lot of guilt. Which as a kid you probably would be. Because I'm assuming that maybe he found the QR video's hidden message, went to Nice and Lots, Tokiko started talking nonsense to him, being like, "Hey, you know, simulation, help me out, buddy, blah, blah, blah." Then Soma did a couple of things that he didn't think were a big deal, but now he feels guilty for Chikara's murder or something. That's what I'm guessing is gonna happen. Or is happening.
I don't know much about that video. I barely even watched it. I only know about Bats 490.
That reminds me, you haven't told me the details of Bats 490 yet. The rumor is, people who decoded that video message have gone missing. But they all left behind the same clue. I've learned the secret of the world, but you haven't disappeared. Why?
Don't ask me. All I did was decrypt the code. I didn't go anywhere. The only thing I know for sure is that Bats 490 is an ARG. It's just a game. But the NirvanA trial, on the other hand...
NirvanA trial?
Weird experimentation, I reckon.
It's a video that's been going viral.
Oh.
It was uploaded to ViewCube first. Then it blew up from there. Bunch of people who watched it have gone missing.
Ryuki, I found the video. Do you want to see it?
No, I'll watch it later. This is more important right now. Just so I have the facts straight. This is completely different from the QR video and Bats 490, right?
I already told you, Bats 490 is just a game. No one really went missing, and it had nothing to do with the secret of the world. But the NirvanA trial is different. It's not just a game, it's real. There's something seriously messed up about it.
You've seen it?
No, I was too scared. But people are going missing, one after the other.
Tama, any information on these missing people?
There are about 90,000 people who go missing in Japan each year. That means, on average, about 1,730 people go missing each week. This week, there have been 1,880 missing persons reports filed. That's 150 more than the average, but I can't say whether that's related to the video or not.
Do you know about the NirvanA Initiative?
Initiative? Haven't heard of it. I only know about the video called the NirvanA trial. I had my phone turned off.
Why?
Because there was no reason to turn it on.
I heard you haven't been going to school. If you don't mind, could you tell me why?
I do mind, but can't you tell? I'm all alone, just like that Jin person.
Jin?
I read about it online. He had been sick for a long time. I don't know what his condition is called or whatever, but it was some sort of chronic disease. He was sick since he was young. Stayed in the hospital for a long time, didn't have any friends. According to the article, he took his classes from the hospital. I felt bad for him. One is lonely enough as it is, but he's only one half.
What the hell does that mean? I still don't know what that means.
Sorry, I need to go somewhere.
Wait, we're not done here.
You can keep the door unlocked. See ya.
I can't believe it. He actually left. What kind of person goes out and leaves a stranger in his home?
Nothing we can do. Looks like we'll have to get moving too.
Let's first go to the warehouse district. There is actually something that we need to do there. We need to speak to a certain hooded person.
Ryuki, why are we here?
Remember how I said before that I like nature? The sea is also a part of nature. By the way, Tama, look over there.
That's...
You know them?
Oh, no, not really.
Not
I've
really.
just seen them around before.
Dressed kind of strangely, don't you think? Maybe they're coming back from a cosplay event. Excuse me.
I feel like this might be Misaki, personally, I think. Maybe
I'm sorry,
she's
do you
trying to
have a minute?
investigate things, but I'm not entirely sure.
You.
It's just that, I don't know, her voice sounds kind of similar, right?
What's going on? What could he be plotting? I don't need to tell you anything. Nothing. None of your business. You're beginning to annoy me. Would you please leave?
Annoy you?
Fine. Then I will take my leave instead. The day to take action is approaching, and I must stop the plan.
Stop what?
Well, she does know about the NirvanA
There
Initiative
she
more than likely.
goes.
What was she talking about?
I don't know. Cosplay band, maybe?
I've never heard of a plan like that.
Then maybe it's a family plan. Whatever the case, I think it's clear that that woman isn't all there. Let's forget about it. More importantly...
On to the next place, huh? Oh, Mame is here too.
Why are you here?
There's something I wanted to ask Gen.
And what would that be?
Well...
What's wrong?
This isn't boss we're talking about.
Well, it's better than having loose slots in other ways.
What other way?
No, you know.
I don't
No,
actually. I'm
I
not sure
don't.
where this is going.
I'm not sure why, but she seems to be a bit down today. I'm sure she'll be back to her usual self eventually. Please let her be for now.
No.
It's all right now, because I am here! Half might! Half for all, we are full-time heroes!
Hey, that's my thing! Is there anything you can tell me about the NirvanA Initiative?
What is that? Is it some sort of plan?
I think so.
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
About Tokiko.
Gen, do you know a woman named Tokiko Shigure?
Never heard that name before.
That's
Really?
a lie.
Yeah. Who is this Tokiko person?
The president of an ideological society called Nizet Laws. Or NIZE.
Nice. You mean that secret society or whatever?
Yeah,
It actually exists? I thought it was just an urban legend.
I thought so too.
So what's that got to do with the case?
I told him it's highly
So I tried searching through Tokiko's memories using a certain device. While I was in there, I saw you.
I see. But I'm telling you, I don't know this person you're talking about. It could be someone else wearing the same mask.
That doesn't sound...
It's also possible that Tokiko knows Gen, but not the other way around.
That is true. Gen might be around 29. That. Ooh.
Hariyuki, there's something bothering me. Something is wrong with Amame.
Yeah, she doesn't seem very energetic today.
No, not that. Her heart rate jumped dramatically earlier. Right when she heard the words Tokiko and NirvanA Initiative.
What?
Not really sure what the clock has to do with anything.
It's okay, it's okay. Everything will be fine.
Oh, wait, I get it.
What was that?
I don't know.
Do you know something about the NirvanA Initiative? Do you know Tokiko? Hey, Gen. There's something I want to ask Mame. How do you think I can get her to talk to me?
Let's see. Amame likes trivia, so maybe if you frame your question like a quiz?
A quiz. A quiz. Hey, Mame.
The last man on Earth.
The last man on Earth heard a knock on his door. Who was it? No good, huh? The answer was a woman.
Nope, that's wrong too. The answer is LGBTQ+. You're sorely mistaken if you think there are only men and women in this world, dumbass.
No response.
I'm at a loss. Oh, I know. Maybe if you play that song.
What song?
One moment, please. I'll get it ready.
Alrighty then.
Shadows settle in. We embark, but cannot see a thing. Rejoice, you're not alone, you are renewed. Everyone is here with you. There is hope within that shining light. The morning sun sees flowers bloom in snow. There is rain within those cheerful eyes. Where it falls, a gorgeous green will grow. And in time, even if the colors turn gray, those memories of you and me, those effervescent days, they will never change. They will never fade. Thanks, Genny.
I think I feel a bit better.
That's good.
Looks like Amame is back to her usual self.
Why were you feeling down earlier?
It was nothing.
Did you get jilted or something?
No. I just lost 50,000 yen on pachinko.
See?
You can't be serious.
About
I
Tokiko.
only know her name from the internet. I just love stories about the occult and conspiracy theories. And when I looked up Nai's, that name came up.
Then what about the NirvanA Initiative?
I read about that on the internet too. It was on an occult news site. Supposedly, there's some sort of sinister plan by that name. But that's all that was written about it. Really, I'm telling the truth. Trust me.
Trust me.
I was going through a very painful time of my life. It was so bad that I didn't even want to go on. Then, Genny played that song from earlier.
You mean he wrote it?
Well, yes.
The title is The Flower That Blooms in Snow. He recorded it on a cassette and gave it to me as a present.
Is that?
It's a portable cassette player. Are you familiar with them?
This is my first time seeing one in person. That's a Volkman, right?
I always have the cassette player on me with the tape inside.
Wow, impressive. I didn't realize that not only are you a good cook, but you can write songs too.
This is a bit embarrassing. Did I say something like that before?
Yeah, I think you did.
I have fond memories of the warehouse district. I go there every morning and...
You always stop by there after stocking up at the market, right?
Do you go buy stock every morning?
Yes, since I can't store meat or fish in the freezer.
And the freezer in the back doesn't open anymore.
Why not?
I can't find the key.
The freezer is locked?
Yes, though I can still use the refrigerator, so I'm able to manage for now.
Yeah, that's gonna be something that's gonna play a
We didn't
point
get
in
leads
the
despite all
game.
that time we spent here. Neither of them had any information on Tokiko.
But if that's true, why was Gen in Tokiko's Somnium?
Anyway, we can figure that out later. Let's investigate somewhere else for now. Ryuki, you look tired. Are you okay?
After all that, we haven't made any progress at all. It takes a toll, knowing you've wasted your time on a case like this.
Why don't you rest for a bit?
I plan on it. That's why I came here. This place is always therapeutic for me.
Is that...
Leon.
What's he doing here?
Let's go find out.
Oh, hello there. Do you know about the NirvanA Initiative?
Yeah, and that's the video that everyone's talking about online, right? I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard of it. And I heard a bunch of people that watched it have gone missing. Though, who knows if that's all true. Supposedly, there's some complex hidden message in that video. Just like Bats 490. I don't know much else.
What are you doing here?
I was watching the sky.
The sky?
Yeah, like I told you. I've dreamed about being up in the sky since I was a little kid. I always wanted to be a pirate.
You mean pilot?
Or Sky Pirate.
I like this park. It's quiet, peaceful, serene.
I know the feeling.
It's the perfect place to be left alone with your thoughts.
I agree. But what were you thinking about?
Oh, I just got a request from someone. I agreed to do it on the spot, but now I'm not sure if it was the right choice. I've been wondering if I should have refused instead.
What was the request?
Can't tell you that. It's confidential. Well, I don't know the situation exactly, but I understand what you're asking. You want to get inside that facility and take a look around. Maybe there's something there. Though I didn't see anything last time I was there. Oh well. I'll accept your request. So stop making that face, alright? Cheer up, please.
Okay.
Facility?
Again, spoiler thoughts, so I can't really do anything with this, but having to redo all this, it's making me put some pieces together here. The way he spoke to that person, it's a bit too kind to just be someone he doesn't know, but who does Lien know in the police? Or whom would he speak to like that? The only person I can realistically think about who he would speak to like that is the brown-haired chick that he wants to marry. But, yeah.
I don't know.
By tonight, he must have meant today. The night of the 12th, right?
I would assume so. He did say he just got the request.
Who did it come from?
I can't tell.
Anyway, I'll be going now. Looks like you've got a lot on your plate, but try not to overdo it. See ya.
By the way, Ryuki, about the NirvanA trial.
Now that you bring it up, we haven't watched the video yet.
Wanna watch it?
Yeah, play it.
What?
I'm sorry. Can you please play it for me?
Very well.
Yeah, this shit is kinda weird. Especially because there is a more realistic person people used in there, which is really fucking weird when you're playing an anime game. It just feels off, you know? Makes you feel off kilter. Okay, elephants, a well, man rob ghost. Person. Elephants and well, toilets, don't know what that's about. People again, mind breaking. Toe. More faces. No fucking clue. And freak out. This actually freaked me the fuck out the first time I saw it.
Hey. Ryuki? Are you okay?
See, it's like some sort of a glitch. I wonder, like, what the hell's happening here? Is it just him getting mind-fucked, or is there something behind it? Shit is freaky.
What? What? It can't be. How? Why is it suddenly nighttime?
Don't you know? The Earth rotates toward the east, so...
What was I doing all this time?
You've been standing there? Like an NPC that froze up. Hey, what happened?
That's what I'd like to know. I watched that video and then I came to and now we're here. What time is it, Tama?
21:30.
Could you please visit me at my office again at 10 o'clock tonight?
This is bad. We need to hurry.
Sheesh.
Okay, so now I can say a
No.
couple of things. So
It can't be.
This can't be happening.
okay, so now I can say a couple of things. So I've noticed that every time we go into a somnium of someone, they end up dead. Chikara, no, corpse, Tokiko, so now Tokiko as well. I feel like that is a pattern that we shouldn't just ignore, right? So if so if the next time we go into someone's somnium, they also end up dying, we know that they are more than likely aiming for people that we go into the somnium of. Or it would be an extremely extreme coincidence.
Daddy's job is to help someone very important. I assist and protect that person from harm. Yeah, Daddy's a professional. I won't ever let anything bad happen to them.
Looks like he's not the culprit.
Yeah, I think we can strike him off the list of suspects.
Yeah, that door is the only way in or out.
Seems like a bit of a fire hazard, but yeah.
I think it was around 1400. The president got back from seeing the police, returned to this room, then I haven't seen her since. I'm not always in the president's office. I'm usually on standby in the room outside. I only come here when called.
Tokiko has been in this room since 2 p.m.?
She should have been, yeah.
Has anyone entered or left the room?
No one.
Is it possible that someone was in there before 2 p.m.?
No. I'm sure you're already aware, but the security here is incredibly tight. There are security cameras all over the stairs and corridors, along with the elevator and outside the door. It's impossible to get in without getting noticed.
Ryuki, I checked the data on the security cameras. It's true that no one entered this room other than Tokiko. And no one left it either.
How was the body
The president
found?
informed me that you'd be here at 2200, so I let you through into this room. Then, her body.
Are there any security cameras in this room?
Of course not. Who'd put a security camera in their own room? Anyway, I need to report to the people at Nyes.
Very well. Please don't let anyone out of the building.
Got it.
How did this happen?
If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself.
One thing is for sure. Ryuki, look around the room. No traces of blood.
In other words, Tokiko wasn't killed here.
The culprit must have been Terror. He killed Tokiko somewhere else, then brought her right half here.
But how did he get in the room?
We don't know how he left either.
What if he's still in this room?
No, that's not possible. I checked with X-ray vision. No sign of anyone and no biological responses detected.
Then he had to have escaped somehow.
I suspect the culprit's escape route and way in were the same. So, Ryuki, let's look into finding the escape route first. We should know how the culprit got in once we learn how they got out.
Okay, let's investigate.
Before we begin, I want to point something out. The side with the window is the south. And the waterfall is to the north.
I know that. Why are you mentioning it?
Shut your mouth! It'd be a pain in the ass if we didn't know which way was which. You should be grateful I told you!
Okay. Why are you angry?
Just zip it and get working, alright?
Alright, let's find all the clues and then solve this mystery. Confirm the status of the corpse. Alright, so we'll first do that by interacting with the corpse. Just
It's Tokiko's right half. Just like before, it's been severed at the molecular level. The body appears to have been cut with the same instrument, and she was also bisected while she was still alive.
In other words, it's highly likely that it was the same killer.
Yes, that's why I said Terror is probably the culprit. The estimated time of death is approximately 3 hours ago, which would be around 1900 today. That's when we were at Yoyagi Park.
Alright, there's an electromagnetic noise coming from somewhere in the walls. Well, then we'll just have to interact with the walls, see if we can find anything there. Maybe we have to do X-ray. There's some marks left inside the corpse. Alright, well, then we'll do an X-ray first.
Is this?
What is it?
Inside Tokiko's womb. There are traces of her having given birth.
What?
Though it wasn't recently. It has to have been more than 20 years ago.
Tokiko has a grown child?
Yes, but there are no records of this anywhere in her family register. She hasn't filed birth registration, and there aren't any records of it in any medical institutions in Japan.
Yeah, so I think that Gen might be Tokiko's kid. That's what I put together there because of, well, the skull and everything. Like, she's probably just given Gen up for adoption, and that's why she knows Gen, but he doesn't know her. Alright.
There's something in the floor.
Maybe it's a rail? It's embedded in the floor.
This is probably an electromagnetic rail. It extends from the corner of the statue toward the pond.
A hidden passageway behind it?
Probably not. Looks like the wall behind this waterfall is made of tungsten. It's a material that blocks X-rays, so I'm not able to see anything beyond that wall.
Wait, what's this?
There are metal plates shaped like numbers embedded in the board at the front of the desk, so you're able to see them by using X-ray like this.
It's as if this was prepared just for us. Who would do something like this?
Probably
Anyway,
Tokiko.
we can figure that out later. Let's focus on the investigation.
Pretty sure the woman would have been crazy enough to actually bisect herself or vivisect herself. Don't
There's
know
something embedded in the
don't know
wall.
what the right word
It's a
is.
keypad for a pin code.
But this frame is on there tight. It won't budge.
Maybe there's some way to move it.
There's something coming out of it.
It's an infrared laser. Normally it wouldn't be visible, even with thermo mode. But this place is full of water particles. The light hits the water particles and disperses, making it visible to the human eye.
The light is shining toward the northeast. It's crossing the pond in a diagonal line.
Right, let's see. Investigate the statue material. Oh, okay, yeah, I have to do that when I'm not in X-ray. Okay.
What's this?
That's fair.
There's an arrow under the symbol.
Sometimes it can be hard to know which mode I have to investigate things in, but that makes sense.
If you detected it with thermo mode, does that mean it's emitting heat?
It must have a heating wire or something embedded in it. Looks like the statue is made of iron.
Alright, then we have to actually investigate the rails. Oh, no, I thought that was the case. Okay, something below. There's another unnatural reaction of matter below the floor. Do I have to investigate the other rail? Maybe.
The same kind of rail is over here, too.
It's even going toward the same direction.
Alright, there we go. There's another unnatural reaction of infrared. Okay, so we have to do the other one as well. Which one have we yet to do? I think it was this statue over here.
An infrared laser is coming out of the statue, too. It's crossing with that other beam.
This one's shooting toward the southeast.
Alright, so what we have to do here is push the statues towards the light.
Alright, looks like we've investigated what we could for now. Now, let's get to solving the mystery.
How did the culprit get out of the room? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes. So, let's begin. The first thing that comes to mind is that rail under the floor.
The electromagnetic rail.
The rail leads from the statue toward the pond.
Yeah,
Do you think the statue moves along the rail?
it's made of iron. So maybe it's pulled with an electromagnet.
It's probably operated with a remote control or something.
But I didn't find anything like that.
Then, please... Yes, we have no other choice.
So, let's get right to it.
Wait, don't actually move it until we're shooting.
What do you mean?
I mean when we actually record this with the camera and complete the film.
Why are you like this?
Quiet! I'm the director, so you follow my instructions or I'll fire you!
This statue is the same as the one we saw earlier.
The underground rail leads toward the pond.
Which means...
Use force.
Well, there's not much else we can do.
So, let's get right to it.
You little shit! Don't make me send you back to the green room, damn it!
Oh, right. We were still in rehearsal. I'm not supposed to move it until the shoot.
Yes, we don't want this important set to get damaged, right?
This is a set?
There was an input device behind this.
Aha.
You already
Yeah.
know the numbers to enter, right?
Even if I did, I would need to be able to move the frame.
That's not what I asked. Do you know the code or not? In fact, I need you to know the answer. If you can't even solve this, you don't deserve to call yourself a member of Abyss.
So, can you tell me the numbers? It should be 7 digits.
Yeah, so how you are supposed to figure out these numbers is that you know those numbers you saw on the front of the desk before. If you put them into the nice and locks symbol and then add the numbers up to each other that are in the same row, you get the code. It took me a second to actually figure that out the first time around because I didn't think it was gonna be that fucking easy, but it was. Sometimes people have the habit to overlook the easy solution to think that it's something more complicated, which is pretty dumb if you think about it. 99% of the time in life, the easy solution is gonna be the one that is gonna be the one. So the code is 9401095. It's a good thing I wrote this down and actually didn't erase it, because that makes this a lot
Good
easier.
job. That's probably the answer.
Probably.
I mean, it's not like I actually checked. I don't know whether those numbers are correct or not.
This is unfortunately not the code that you have to enter when Tokiko asks you for the numerical
The
code or
rehearsal is
whatever
now
it's
over.
called.
It's time to start. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to start filming.
This was actually, or is, one of my favorite parts of the
Ryuki,
game.
you're going
Not
to
this
play the
specifically,
main
but what
culprit
comes
this time.
after.
The one who plays the right half of Tokiko's
When we
severed
open
body.
the secret exit.
You just finished a big job. You need to get out of here, fast. But if you leave the conventional way, you'll be spotted by the surveillance camera. Same thing for when you entered, too. The culprit used some special method to get in and out of the room. Now, I want you to consider the situation, and whatever you might be feeling, use it for your performance.
Hey, is it really necessary to act?
Shut up!
Hostile work environment.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Action!
Oh, kind of weird that they hadn't cleaned up that face or that statue yet.
Tokiko Shigure.
The one that
I brought the body here for some reason.
You know, Tokiko has been hanging around in this office for the entire day after this. Kind of weird that she never bothered to clean it up. Maybe because she knew she was gonna die?
Now that I'm done here, I'm gonna leave.
Terrible acting as usual.
Give me a break.
Okay, what did the culprit do first to escape?
Well, there's that electromagnetic rail in the floor leading to the pond. It pulls the iron statue with magnetic force. The culprit probably used a remote control, but I can't find it, so... I'll try forcing it! Something happened.
It's because it touched the infrared laser from the southwest statue.
Okay, so the statue was moved so it would hit the laser.
What did the culprit do next?
He must have also moved this statue with a remote.
Okay, go.
The statue begins moving via the electromagnets. The culprit grins maniacally, his plan in motion.
Stop!
Hmm?
Can you not read the stage directions out loud? You're supposed to play the part of the culprit.
But what's the point of...
Don't talk back to the director! Don't make me throw a fucking ashtray at you!
Oh no! I need to hurry, or someone's gonna see me! Hurry! Hurry! Move already!
Good, Ryuki, that's it! That's the performance I wanted to see!
But like I said, the culprit probably had a remote.
It's fine. This scene is where we show the screaming of the culprit's tortured heart in monologue.
Alright. This statue reacted to the laser too. I see. So this is how it works. So I just need to enter the number from earlier, right? 4901095. There. Look!
A hidden door.
Oh, okay. I got the trophy and I thought, why the hell did I get the trophy? I already went through this, but I solved it perfectly. Which...
It's more than a hidden door.
Can't really
It's
take
an
much pride
elevator.
in. But
See?
still,
There's
more
a button
trophies,
pointing
yay.
down next to the door.
This is the highest floor of the building. Looks like this elevator is only for going down.
Let's try pushing it.
Now we know Terror's escape route.
And the way he got in.
Terror used this elevator to bring Tokiko's right half into the room.
And he must have used the same method to get out.
Wouldn't it have been more accurate to say that...
The statue and non-Yipple X symbol must have been set up to return to their original positions automatically. Anyway, let's go down there.
But yeah, would it be more accurate to say that it was the left
What
half
is
was
this
taken
place?
because Toko was already in the room? Yeah, interesting thing, this was actually the place that the first Somnium took place in, so that's kind of nice. You know, hinting at what was to come in that first
we tunneled
Somnium.
to the other side of the world.
You mean we're underground?
Yeah, more than 160 feet deep. Radio waves are completely cut off due to the depth. We can't connect to the network, so keep that in mind. Anyway, let's start looking around. Maybe we'll find some sort of clue.
Yeah, really culty vibes over here. Genuinely pretty weird. Could almost see someone being sacrificed on these altars. But I wonder how other people would enter here. Clearly, Tokiko's elevator isn't gonna be the only way to get in. Otherwise, how the hell are they gonna have a bunch of people enter here? Would be weird if suddenly hundreds of people were to enter through Tokiko's office and then just kind of hang out there, right?
A nice symbol here, too.
The non-nuable X.
This is kind of creepy.
Maybe it's a pedestal for performing some sort of ritual.
Like offering a sacrifice.
It's not an ironing board, that's for sure.
Tokiko. She said Nyes isn't a religious group. But this is clearly...
It's definitely got some cold vibes going on.
What's this? It's mechanical.
Some sort of device, maybe?
Can't you analyze it?
Not from here, no. At the very least, it doesn't seem to be explosives or poison gas.
You mean it's safe to open?
Probably. It's a box. There was a strange device inside.
Can we not open it or what? Right, guess we have to do something else as well. Is there anything else I haven't interacted with? The sand?
Sand is coming down from above.
Looks like the ceiling has degraded. I hope it doesn't come down on us.
Oh, okay, I actually had to interact with that. Didn't expect it if I was gonna be honest. Not like
Don't
the ceiling
tell
is
me
gonna
you're
come
going to
down on
open
us,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Why not?
Well, just a hunch.
It should be fine. You said it's safe to open.
I did add probably.
Still, we can't just not check it.
You can't get the treasure unless you lay the dragon, huh?
There's so much wrong with that statement. But yes, that's the idea.
Baby toys.
Hmm? What was that sound?
Yeah, I think my whole Ken is Tokiko's kid theory is going to bear some fruit.
Ryuki, a biological signal has been detected. They're somewhere close.
Not sure who this would be. Might be the mask one.
What the?
What?
Why do you look like that?
What do you mean?
Anyway,
Okay, so...
Hey! Freeze!
If they were running, that means they weren't expecting us to be here, which would mean... Okay, something is happening.
What is this?
Which would mean that they went here for a different purpose, but what could that be? Maybe to get the box? Also, it would have cost so much to make a space like this. You would have to excavate everything. And then, how we even do that? Like, how would it even work to make a space like that?
There's a
Shit!
torch coming down from above!
I'm terrible at this.
There's another one!
Okay, well,
Damn it!
Fuck.
Ryuki!
I did the left. I did the left one, damn it. I did the left one. I suck at these stupid quick time events, man.
Hey!
My brain acts
freeze!
before I actually do anything. Before I can.
There's another one!
Damn it!
There we go. Not sure why they made it like that. What the purpose could it have beyond trying to escape someone? I actually initially thought that this was the part where we would be cut off and
for yesterday.
that they would say,
Ryuki,
okay,
we
now you
wouldn't
have to
need
work
police
the
if an
Misaki
apology
route
solved
for a bit.
everything. I know you're doing your best on this investigation. Nevertheless, your screw-up yesterday really cost us. The investigation hasn't been proceeding like we hoped.
I'll make up for it. Please, give me another chance.
This reminds me of something. My daughter's been begging me not to decrease her allowance when she gets bad grades.
Okay, well, that's a little mean, I'd say, but alright.
I thought you were a bit more capable than this, Ryuki. I mean, I got chewed out by my higher-ups, too. After work tonight, I'm going to my favorite host club and popping every champagne bottle in there.
It's all right now, because I am here! Half-Might!
Excuse me?
What I'm trying to say is, I'm motivated, so please let me stay on this case. I'll solve this case no matter what it takes. In fact, I'm the only one who can.
Look, you realize it was that kind of gung-ho attitude that led you to making that mistake yesterday, right? I understand you want to distinguish yourself, but you're biting off more than you can chew.
But I can't just stop now. I should be able to handle this better than anyone.
Ryuki, boss is right. You're getting too impatient. Your life isn't over because of one little slip-up. More importantly, you need to accept your faults and learn from mistakes.
What's happening? Why? Oh, did I accidentally... Okay, good, it's moving again. For a second there, it wasn't moving and I was a bit worried.
Nothing other than what you already know. Oh, right, there is some news about the case. It has an official name now. The Half-Body Serial Killings. But that's pretty long, so we've just been calling it the HB case.
The HB case.
Now you know how the media is. You don't solve this quick and they might end up calling you the half-brain investigator. So you'd better start getting things done, Ryuki.
Your daughter. I'm still not used to hearing that.
Oh? Well, I guess it's true that I don't give off a maternal image. I haven't done anything motherly at all, really. My daughter just turned 18 last year, but she pretty much grew up all on her own.
18? She's older than I thought.
You wouldn't think it looking at this figure, huh? She's a grown woman now. She's capable of handling her business. Unlike a certain someone who gets overeager and screws up big time. I understand your enthusiasm, Ryuki. So I'm giving you a chance to redeem yourself. I want you to continue investigating this case.
Thank you!
But I need you to follow orders from above.
Orders from above? What do you mean?
It's official. Kuruto Ryuki, you're being demoted to a police officer.
What?
This is for yesterday's fiasco.
Wait, you mean like a normal cop? That's terrible! That's way too harsh!
However, I'll give you 3 days. If you can resolve the case within that time, I'll take back your punishment and you won't be demoted.
3 days?
Ryuki, we should look at this in a positive light. We can continue the investigation, and if we can solve it in 3 days, you can avoid demotion.
It's impossible. We barely made any progress. How can I solve the case in 3 days?
Ryuki...
Demoted? Me? I'd rather be a bum on the street than a disgraced cop.
Ryuki!
Oh, and
The communication system still hasn't been fixed. So any data Tama obtains can't be uploaded to the cloud yet. So just like I said before, Tama's data will be lost if her body is damaged. Be careful. You seem completely out of it.
Ryuki.
Alrighty then.
Are you okay, Ryuki?
Yeah. I think the scenery helped me calm down a bit. But to think... demoted... me...
You still have 3 days. If you can solve the case by then...
It's impossible. I can't believe I was told this today, of all days.
Alrighty then, I believe this is where we were when I started streaming yesterday, so I finally clawed my way back. I'm glad I did this. It took less long than I expected, but that makes sense because I knew what I was doing. As much as I personally didn't think this was my best work, as I did kind of rush things, I do hope that you did enjoy, and yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna head out, and next time we'll actually continue with the main story, so see you then.